Hello, I'm Whisper, this is Dyson's Fair Program, and I see my UI has magically fixed itself. There must have been another Windows update. Excellent, thank you Microsoft. Goodness me. Yeah, that looks more like it. Alright, we are in Sandbox Mode. Excuse me while I just quickly clear up. And we're going to look at something that back when in the slow speed run, in the slow speed run not long ago, we have the big bank of fusion power plants that were basically bootstrapping our Dyson Sphere initial construction, and these things create 15 megawatts per, I see there. And I got to thinking, how long do these run? That's 600 megawatts, divide that by 15, that's 40 seconds unproliferated. Which means that one of these made a second will run 40 fusion power plants at full tilt, because they do ramp up and down depending on power. Very handy. So 2 a second, which is the recipe makes 2 every 12 seconds. If we were using dark fog gear, it struck me that we could possibly make a self-sustaining or factory that will power a planet, and $40 of those is 600 megawatts, which is 1 Deuteron Fuel Rod per second. 80 of those is 1.2 gigawatts, which is 2 Deuteron Fuel Rods a second. That's kind of interesting for, say, a planet which has no power and is so far away from the sun that solar power is 50% or something. So let's see, with the dark fog toys, if we can make from raw materials a self-powering, self-assembling, all-in-one sort of fusion plant, which will run a planet. Just like a mining planet for forever. So to do this, let's start with the fuel rods. We'll not bother with calculations, we'll just do it on the fly. See if my estimation of ratios are not required is true. Which I say it isn't needed, but hey. So if we're making 2 a second, that would normally be 12 Mark II assemblers. 12 seconds, 12 assemblers. Dark fog ones run at triple speed, so that will be 4 of those. If I put that there, or should I put that there? You know what I'm going to do before I do anything? Is we're going to basically feed this lot into an ILS. And that can act as a buffer, because basically, okay, we're going to need deuterium, so we'll pull that in. What else will we need? Well, there's going to be, where are we? Fuel rods. I find it annoying that sometimes they're down here and sometimes they're up here. So this can be the buffer. That might be a slow buffer, but hey, it can buffer up. And if it gets to a certain point, we can find ourselves, if something can request it off planet. That's honestly handy too. A little reserve that can slowly trickle build up. Maybe over 10 planets, it could be a respectable amount on the regular. Right, orbital collector, because we're getting it from gas giant. And in the slow speed run, I will have to tap quite a few gas giants because we only have the one, which is probably struggling. Now, where were we? 8 of these. Oh, and I really put that up the what, didn't I? Not 8 of these, 4 of these. That is totally terrible. Did it keep the settings? Let's see. Terrible alignment. Yep, it's kept them good. Excellent. Alright, we'll put in these power poles first, just so they don't blink, and then we'll put in these. Now what we'll have is we will have our deuterium coming out. Guess we may as well run it all the way to there. And we'll have our fuel rods going in. Let's mark these because otherwise I am going to get mixed up and make a hell of a mess. We will use the pile sorters because we need to get whole bunches in. And the Mark III sorters won't cut it. These will be sucking in deuterium very fast when needed, so we might as well, since we pretty much standardized. Now what else did deuterium fuel rods need? Supermagnetic rings and titanium alloy. Alright, we'll just bring these in along here. Now the rings, this requires 1 supermagnetic ring a second. And it takes normally 3 Mark II assemblers a second. At 3 times, that's only a single assembler. This might be surprisingly small. We can cut that. What do these require? Those 3 items. Alright, this is going to be short and sharp. In. We might as well just have these right beside. I guess magnets. And energetic graphite. Supermagnetic ring and 1 titanium alloy. Oops. Once we feed these things, that should be just fill out. Alright. Excuse me. Just a second, family question. No, not family question. Not for me anyway. Alright, So, one of these a second. We'll feed those in on different belts. One a second requires 2 of those a second. And each one of those takes 2 seconds to make, so that's 1 is a second is 2 assemblers. 2 a second is 4 assemblers. Divide by 3 is only 2 assemblers and a few left over. Highly surprising. Alright, come on you. So technically that would make at triple speed 1.5 per all 3. We're going to have a bit of an overflow, but never mind. Alright, that needs motors. Okay, whoops. What I might do is I might just make a stub here. And snip that. And we'll bring in something along here. Alright, motors and electromagnetic coils. So if we make this motors, and this coils, magnetic coils, not electromagnetic, and we'll snip that there because we'll be putting out on that belt. In, out. We will make an excess, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be a sloppy build. There's nothing going to be perfection, everything perfectly balanced. It's going to be a zen, lazy, sloppy, it works well build. Alright, so that's those. Electric motors are the next one. What do they need? Magnets. Okay, electromagnetic coils. And damn it, where are we? Iron and gears. Alright, what we'll do is we may as well pull in a bunch of stuff down the bottom. So if we say we do iron, and gears, yeah. Let's go. I'll just drop one down as a placeholder. Now, how much? Alright, so we're at the point we need 1 of those a second. Requires 2 of those a second, and each one of those takes 2 of those a second. So we need 4 of these a second. Normally 2 assemblers would create 1 a second. We need 4, so that's 8. Divide by 3 is 3. Well, technically 2 and a bit. Oops. Just say this is iron and gears coming in. And that is the electric motors going out. Okay, that makes it easy again. Input, input, output, and input. That will make us 8. Again, a bit more than needed, but hey, doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a little bit surprising how, well, it's surprising to me because it's not something I do. I don't tend to do one build does everything. It's like the ones. Alright, let us make magnets, electromagnets. Sorry, magnetic coils. Yes, magnetic coils. So what needs magnetic coils? No. Yes. So none there. Needs 2 of these a second. Each one of those needs 2 a second, so those need 4 a second. So 4 a second there. It needs 4 a second of those, and each one of those needs 1 a second. So that's 4 a second and 4 a second, 8 a second. That would normally be 1 second to make 2. That would normally be 4 assemblers. Divide by 3 because these are the dark fog fast ones. That means 2 assemblers. Guess we'll need magnets for that. I suppose we put copper in here or something. Alright, let's try this. Let me go through that again. 2 of these a second means 4. 4 of these a second means 4. Total of 8 a second. Normally makes 2 a second is 4 assemblers. Divide by 3. Yep, that gives us 2 of these, or technically 1 1/4 or something, or 1 1/2. Alright, that should be plenty. Put you out on there, or should be. Right, what we're going to have here is we are going to have magnets. Actually, that is very handy looking at it, because we can go magnets. Serendipity. Alright, we need 1 magnet, 2 magnets, and output to there. Done. And this is copper. Interesting how this is coming along in a long line. Right, so that's the magnets. Sorry, electromagnets. No, magnetic coils. Now we need iron and we need gears. So I guess double check. 1 a second, 2 a second, 2 a second, 4 a second. 4 a second is 4 gears a second. Normally that would be 4 Mark II assemblers. Divide by 3. 2 Mark II assemblers. Okay. This is turning out somewhat more compact than I had anticipated. I mean, yeah, okay, it's drawn out, but it's a single line. It can probably be bent around. We'll see. Alright. In with the magnets, out with the... Actually, out with the gears. And that's not magnets, that's iron. And then we don't need that there. Because nothing else uses gears than that. Alright. Interesting. Alright, let's work on how many magnets we need. So, 3 magnets a second. What were these? These were 8. So that's 11 magnets a second. Hang on, okay. 3 plus 2, 4. There's 3 plus 4 is 7. And another 4 is 11. Yes, 11 magnets a second. Okay, if these were iron, that would be 11 of these divided by 3 for dark fog smelters, which would be, if these were iron, let's put them down here. That's actually kind of handy. 11, that would be that number. If that was iron. Since it's magnets and they take half again as much, that's, oops, too far. 4, 5, 6 instead of 4. And let's bring iron ore in along here. Just go and mark these. This one is iron. Yep. This one is copper. And this one, just mark that, that is iron ore. Alright. How much iron do we need every second? We may as well put it on the other side of this. So, no iron needed there, no iron needed there, iron needed there and there. So, 1, 2 a second, 4 a second, requires 8, and another 4 is 12 iron a second. Divide that by, that's actually very little iron. Divide that by 3. And that means let me just go through that again. No iron, no iron. Sorry. 1 a second, 2 a second, 4 a second. 2 4s are 8, and 4 is 12 iron a second. Okay. That is somewhat unexpected, but alright. 12 iron a second divided by 3 is 4 smelters. So let's pull on that and put that there. May as well make them nice and easy. Alright, what's the next one? Yeah, there's no further need for iron there, so that belt can go. Alright, well, we need these. These were, what, 8 a second? 4 a second. Copper. Which, divided by 3, is 2 copper smelters. That actually fits there, and if we bring in copper ore over here, I'm starting to second guess myself and asking myself, just how badly am I doing my math here? We'll see. I mean, we'll fire it up once we get to the end. Put that there and there. Produces more copper than needed, but extra doesn't hurt. Okay, so where are we? We have not gotten titanium alloy. That means very interesting. Alright, let's just have a little think about this. Titanium ore can come through here. Let's just mark it. What does titanium alloy require? Actually, first, what do we need of it? There, here. Okay, 1 titanium alloy a second. A 12-second cycle makes 4 titanium alloy. Divide that by 4 would be 3 ordinary smelters to make 1 a second. Divide by 3 because of the dark fog smelter. That's pretty fast. So that's 1. It can't be right. 12 divided by 4, so 3 smelters gets... Yes, 3 smelters makes 1 and divide by 3 because it's a dark fog smelter. Yes, okay. That is... What am I doing here? Probably don't even need that far in. Let's have a look. We put it there to sort of align it. Titanium alloy needs titanium and steel. Well, steel's easy enough. I wonder if there's room. Let's try. How much steel? How much titanium? Where are we? Again, 1 and 1 is plenty. Yeah, that's plenty. 1 smelter will easily provide 1 titanium alloy a second. 1 smelter will provide 1 steel a second, and 1 smelter will provide the 3 iron a second. That is probably easy. Ooh, small snag. Can't put 2 side by side there. How to do this? Down here maybe? Too far. That will work. In steel. Gonna make that steel, hadn't I? Steel, may as well shove it straight into the smelter. little lopsided, but what the heck, it doesn't hurt. No, it doesn't hurt at all. If I want, I suppose I could shove that down there and put on a short belt. We'll think about that later. Titanium. 1 a second is all it's needed, so remember what I just said about stub belt? In, out, and in. Is that all this requires? Can't be. Acid. Ah, we will need acid from over here. Another item to bring in. And what can we do here? We can go straight along here. And then I guess we can have acid come straight out of here. Do I want to do it there? May as well. To here. Oop, that's ugly. Yuck. Not the most fun, is it? What can we do? Well, we can go like this, and then we can go like this. Yeah. Oh, goes the other way. Yeah, that's the titanium alloy. Where are we? Okay, I'm losing track. There it is. Couldn't see it for the trees. Acid in, titanium alloy out. We don't care about funky belt stuff. Funky sort of stuff. I mean, I can make this cuter. Missing that. You know what I said about shifting this down? Yep. You know what I said about putting in a stub belt? Yep. And we want, what do we want? 1 a second, and with coal, well, 1 smelter will make 1 a second, giving it's running at 3 times speed. So what we can do is we can shove in another belt to there. wonder if this will actually work. We will see very fast. Because it looks like we've pretty much gotten it all. Well, it would help if I put on these last sorters. We have deuterium. We have magnetic rings, motors, sorry, turbines, motors, magnetic coils, cogs, iron. It seems like such a small amount of iron, but it works nicely. Magnets. What I'll do is we will shorten this. We will throw a PLS in here, I think. Because these, we'll assume that most of these raw resources will come from on planet. Those two definitely won't. Alright, PLS time. Alright, very easily. Maybe not so easily. Ah, okay, so titanium, copper. Any more? Copper ore, iron ore, and coal. Probably put the iron ore out there. Coal there. Looks a little ugly, but alright. Doesn't look that ugly, it just looks a bit cramped. And honestly, we could probably just turn around and push all that down here and run it back and forth. Alright, let's see. Warpers definitely. Don't need many. Should we proliferate? There is room for it. Honestly, there is. The extra 25% power for 25% longer is worth it. So yes. That looks really funky. Nah. And we've got space, so let's just bring it out properly. Possibly to there, then bring it up. Yeah, that looks smoother. Alright, this is interestingly small. Like I say, this can be twisted around. These can be put along here in various ways. Rearranging is an option for later. And I'm looking at this and I should just turn around and go, you go in there. You come out here. And my cat is being noisy girl, excuse me. Okay, back again. I have rearranged here. So let's bring out these along this line. And let's get ourselves some fusion plants. To be precise, 80 of them. What do I do there? Yep, makes sense. Oops. Mouse cord decided to jam. 50, 60, 70, and 80. That actually could fit quite nicely if managed to get this along this area. Could fit quite nicely indeed. Let's have a quick look at the size. Yeah, easily fit within a planetary block. Alright. Let's give this a good solid test. No power. Oh dear. Well, let's put these down to sane levels. We don't need 10,000 of everything. We don't need 2,000. Five ought to be plenty because we're not using pipelines every second. Maximum. Let's make it 5, it doesn't hurt. Okay. We assume that we have that, and that. Or we pick it up once we charge everything up. That, and that. Oh dear, we have no power to run anything. Let us kickstart. With a couple stacks of these. 150 megawatts. We've got 10 going, and that charges it up. Let's see how things go. This will probably take time backing everything up first before it can get the magnets down here. These are going like the clappers. Okay, here we are. Oh, our first ones came through. Alright, let's just keep an eye on how many we make every minute. As it comes down, it fills these up, trickle feeds. When these are full up, how are they? 9? They're probably full up now. Proliferated. Not oh yeah, proliferated. Some proliferated, some not. Of course, the bootstrap ones. Definitely better than 15. Oh, I forgot to note, of course, yeah, it's coming down here. When these fill up, which they get in there. Eventually, there we are, starts filling up that column. Eventually it will fill the whole lot, then hit equilibrium. Well, if they were drawing the full power, it would hit equilibrium. How much power are we? That is considerably more than expected. There is enough to run a mining planet with ease. So essentially this looks to be overkill. Soon you should get to here. Oh, here we are. And they start getting more power. Well, I will have to say that I consider that relatively successful. Proof of concept is there, of course. Yeah, it needs a bit of tidy, but can be done. These items can be... they're on quite a few planets. Usually you find a few 100,000 as a minimum of these, and you're not using much, to be honest. A couple of coal a second is sod all. And then once everything's up and running, there can be another ILS pulling in titanium ore or anything that's lacking on the planet. Yeah, quite successful on the whole. Oh, I hadn't even realised we're at the 4th column now. 5th column must come along soon. Almost 900 megawatts. must be soonish. There we are. This is definitely going to be more than 1.2 gigawatts because it's proliferated. I wonder... That's the capacity. As you can see, we're only pulling in about, or we're only using about 80 to 90 megawatts, which is not all, well, in comparison to what we're generating. A few advanced miners would keep this thing fed and bring in some things from off planet. And it would go quite well for a, like I say, for a mining planet. Yep, there we go. Okay, next one. Where are we at? Oh, that's probably going to hit about 1.4, maybe 1.5 gigawatts. I should do the math, but I can't be bothered. Well, actually I will. So what is it? 600 megawatts for 40 times 2, so it's 1.2 giga times 1.25 is 1.5 gigawatts full power because it's proliferated. Amazing. How are we looking? It's looking like it's going to, yes. Get close if it, even if it doesn't quite make it. Full power of 1.48 gigawatts. Yeah, nice. So unless a mining planet is running at full tilt, we will slowly accumulate probably at least 1 a second over time. As you can see, it's starting to stack up along the belt. Surprisingly nice. Well, alright, so I suppose I'll do this myself. I will figure out how to put that along this area, because there's plenty of length, with a put the eyelash in here, I suppose, or something like that. Kind of amazing. Definitely pleasing. Definitely pleasing. Alright, I guess that's me. Cheers and enjoy Dyson's feed program.